Wow. First of all, I'm just extremely humbled, honored, and appreciative that for the faith that President Gable, Mark Coyle, our Board of Regents, our administration have in our staff and how we do things and the way we do things and what they've shown in me. And just want to thank them so much and our entire staff. So I'm thankful for the support of the university and our entire community. You've accepted Heather and I and our family with open arms, as well as our staff members. A lot of them live in the neighborhoods and that you live in, and just means so much that everybody's open. That's just accepted us with open arms. Contract is really a result of just tireless effort from so many people. It's not just about the head coach. The head coach is only as good as the people that work for them, period. And I'm a perfect example of that. A perfect example of having an elite staff. From Garrett Chernoff, our general manager, to Kirk Schrock, our offensive coordinator, Joe Rossi, our defensive coordinator, Rob Wang, our special teams coordinator, from Marcus Hendrickson, who's in charge of our college scouting. I can go on and on. It's tireless work by so many people that allow you to be the best head coach you can be. And the head coaches has press conferences like this, and you have salaries and you have extensions and things like that. But you're only as good as the people that you have, and I have elite people. Most importantly, on top of that, is our student athletes. Tanner and Thomas are in here, and Heather and I take incredible responsibility as parents to be parents to them, not only on the football field as coaches, but parents. I couldn't ask for a better group of young men, and they were huge in this decision. I love coaching them every single day. This is a very fun team. It's a very fun culture. It's very different. But I love these young men. I love them as my own sons. And a lot of times it's at times easy for coaches to pick up and leave and go different places. And these are very, very special people. And I believe in what we can do here at the University of Minnesota because of them, because of the recruits that we have committed, because of our future recruits we will have committed, because of our players now, because of our alum, and because of our players now who will be alum, and have them come back to the culture that's sustainable over a long period of time, to come back to University of Minnesota and have the same head coach there. I think that means something. I think that's powerful. And I'm so glad that we get to share those experiences together moving forward. Together, our program this year has really achieved unprecedented success up to this point, and we're looking forward to continue to build that into the future. Last but not least, I do want to thank my wife, Heather. She's everything to me. You talk about courage, what she's been able to do for our marriage and the sacrifices she's been able to make, not only from a professional standpoint, but a family standpoint, and the energy she has and the love she shows not only our family, our kids, and myself, but also our players, and how much she pours into this team and what she supports and what she pours into in this community. Whether it's Ronald McDonald House, whether it's Love Your Melon, whether it's the Masonic Children's Hospital, she's everywhere. Whether it's speaking to former players or luncheons, she's everywhere. And she's the ultimate teammate. She really is. She's my ultimate teammate, not just a wife, not just a partner. She's my teammate. And I'm so glad to have her by my side. And it's just a special time for our fan base, for our university, and more importantly for our staff and players as well as we continue to do this. So I know I take up a lot of time by just saying thank you, but it just happened, and I'm very, very thankful. I'm very humbled. But again, I will say it again, head coaches are only as good as the people they surround themselves with, period. And we have elite people around us. I mean elite, special people. So with that said, we'll open up for questions.
BJ, as in, you said it just happened, as in between the time you left Joe Sensors and now, or before?
Correct. Right in between there. And it's been in the works for a while. My agent, Brian Harlan, all the work he put into that, and Bynum Yeager and what they've been able to do, working along with Mark Coyle. It's been going for a while, but I'm just glad it's finished and it's done. There's a lot of legal things that come in when you're talking about a contract, a lot of things that I never think about. I sit there and say, what's taking so long? What are we talking about? But there's a lot of things that have to be ironed out. So just thankful for everybody working together, whether it's Rhonda, whether it's John Cunningham, Mark Coyle, or our side with our agents. Just want to thank everybody involved for making it very seamless.
Timing and your name being thrown out in some of these job openings already, was there a specific point with the timing to show your commitment to this program?
Well, again, this has been a few weeks in the making. This wasn't just now. This has been a few weeks, and you're having other people deal with it for you, so you're not even really dealing with it. The only thing I have to be dealing with it is once in a while I'll get a phone call and ask, okay, how about this and this and this? That's it. So it never takes away from your game plan, never takes away from your focus or your vision. What started to happen, too, is your name starts going out there, and what people do is they use that in recruiting against you, and they throw that out to recruits, and now here it comes, right? All these things that you can't control, and our players, and at some point you just got to say, hey, let's get moving. Let's get this thing done with, and that came from me, and Mark and Brian all worked together to get it done, and I just want to make sure our players understand that because they deserve that. They don't deserve going through the next 5 weeks knowing if their coach is going to be here or not when he knows he really wants to be here. And it's one thing to say it, another thing to actually do it. And, hopefully they understand now that their questions, if they have those in their mind, they're put to ease.
Given that, PJ, how are the buyouts structured? Are they structured in such a way that it would make it unattractive for you to leave during the contract?
Yeah, I think it's definitely just unattractive in general in terms of being able to just pick up and leave. I think all the contractual things will come out later on. I won't speak specifically about all the contractual things. You guys can look at all that stuff, but we've made a commitment to being here, that's for sure, and university's made a commitment back to us as well. But we're going to continue to do those things. Mark Coyle is very open as you continue to go through. Mark has said it from day one. Every year we're just going to readdress things and see where everybody's at, and he's a man of his word. I love working for Mark Coyle. I mean that wholeheartedly. We have a special athletic director, not just because you have a contract in front of you. I've said that from day one. I mean, he truly cares about our student athletes. He cares about the progress of his administration. He cares about getting the right people together that can do really powerful things. And that's not just football. That's all sports. When somebody has a picture that big, I think, and has a vision that fits everybody else's vision, it's powerful. And I'm a believer of people. Yes, there's places. Yes, there's different things that happen like that. But I'm a believer of people. And when people connect and they have that relationship, it's powerful. And he's one of the main reasons why I didn't want to leave at all. And didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. Never even necessarily crossed your mind.
What was the main thing you wanted in your contract? Was it length? Was it money? Was it your coaching staff?
Yeah, it was a mixture. Joe, I wish I could tell you it was one thing because the people that make you who you are, they need to be rewarded, right? And everything's comparatively speaking to where the head coach is at as well in terms of rankings, and everybody's going to look at where everybody sits in the Big Ten. I mean, every head coach does that. Every assistant coach does that. Hey, look at a list, and where do I rank in that? So comparatively speaking, we've got to be able to take care of our assistant coaches. I want them to feel security that they're going to be here, that we can have that type of security and that camaraderie for a long time because that cultural sustainability that we talk about when we first got here, that's really important. That's how the Iowas have become the Iowas, the Wisconsins have become the Wisconsins, and we want the Minnesotans to be Minnesota for a long period of time. And we want to be that bridge that restores that tradition. So there was a lot of things. There's not just one thing in the contract that sits there and says, hey, that's the one that we wanted to get. It had to be everything. And again, it was.
Yeah, most coaches probably believe they're going to be at a place forever when they start. Could you speak to any specific experiences or moments along the way here that has kind of solidified for you that this is a place where you want to be?
Heather and I love Minnesota. It's got to start with, first of all, you got to be really happy where you live, right? Because you can do two things. You can make a living or you can make a life, right? And most coaches go somewhere and they just live there. They're making a living because they're always looking for their next job, or perhaps it's not a great fit, right? Or they don't like the place they live and they sacrifice that just based on the job. At the University of Minnesota, it's a complete package for Heather and I. We love the Twin Cities area. We love Minnesota. We're Midwestern people. We've absolutely loved how the community welcomes us with open arms. The people in even our neighborhood we're really close and really good friends with. The ability to have the rural areas and the fishing and the boating and the lakes, which we love, to also have the city right next door to you, the Twin Cities. I mean, that's a match made in heaven for us because we love the city, but we also love to be out on the lake, and we like to be in the country, and you can have it all here. And so it always starts with your lifestyle as a coach. And I think some people maybe overlook that. But we didn't want to overlook that at all. That was really important to us. And, I think we had that at Western Michigan at a point, right? But we knew we wanted to be in the Big Ten. We knew we wanted to be a Power 5 football coach. And I say we because it's a family effort on that. But Minnesota has everything. And I feel like we can get to where we say we can want to be. And we're sitting 8-0 right now. I think a lot of people are shocked by that. The people, those players back there are not shocked. The staff members are not shocked. Our four walls are not shocked. So you can have that, plus you can have everything else. And so I think that was, again, there's so many factors that go into it. And there's a lot of decisions that have to be made. There are a lot of conversations that have to be made, very real ones. But you want a living or do you want to live a life? And here you can live a life plus have your job that you love in an area that you love with people that you just love working with. And it's a tremendous combination. And I think we're starting to see all over the country how hard that is and how quickly coaches can leave and get fired or things can go sideways quickly. So just very thankful to so many people for allowing this to happen to us.
Jay, do you see this as a place where you can achieve? You've always been a climber. You've always been a guy that's going for the top of the mountain. Do you feel that this is a place that you can satisfy those goals for yourself?
Well, we tell that to our players every single day about what we can become. And what we want to be able to do is restore the traditions of old, right? The national champions, the Big Ten champions. And there's no reason why we can't do that. Now, again, when you start to look at some of the developmental programs in our conference, it doesn't mean it's going to happen every single year. There's going to be really highs. There's going to be some lows. There's going to be things like that. But when you look at what Pat Fitzgerald has done at Northwestern, Pat's a good friend of mine. I'm not afraid to say other people's names in press conferences or schools. You look at what Barry Alvarez had done at Wisconsin for that long a period of a time. There were highs, there were lows, right? You look at what Kirk Ferentz and Hayden Fry did at Iowa. I mean, that is what I feel like the University of Minnesota is missing. And I feel like someone has to do that. And we came here because we felt that was our mission, that we were called to it. And for whatever people believe in, like we believe in our spiritual life. And we felt we were called to do something. And we're putting that plan at work. And we tell our players all the time, there's nothing you can't achieve here. For all the reasons why people say you can't, you sure can. And it's going to take a strong commitment towards that for that to happen.